Hey everybody, welcome to yet another fantastic, wildly entertaining, and devastatingly sexy edition of Wednesday here on ChronoSpeakeasy.com. I'm your host, Paul, joined with the marvelous, talented Rob Nordberg.
Yo, that's me. What's up?
And the dashing and ever so charming Chandler Taylor.
Why, hello there.
Lots to dive into this week. Actually, you know what's funny? Rob and I were talking before we started recording how it's sort of like another trailer trash episode because so many trailers came out. So instead of opening sophisticated...
And by so many, two very good ones.
Right, but we're going to talk the shit out of them. But I feel like classy introductions shouldn't have been the way to go. It should have been like, come on down to Trailer Park!
That's offensive.
Yeah, I don't want to...
Yeah, I got all these trailers open on the YouTube.
I got the Deadpool, and I got a purple ball man with a gold glove.
He sure sounds like that older brother from the Goonies, but I can't tell you what. Actually, no, he was in the other trailer too, with a glowy eye.
Snap, snap, snap. Yeah, so...
It's a good time to be Josh Brolin.
Seriously.
Yeah. Living the best life.
Josh Brolin is Josh rolling.
Oh, God.
Oh, that was painful.
You're welcome. So, yeah, the Deadpool...
Let's talk about Deadpool first, because
Yeah.
Because Avengers is going to go on for a while.
Right, yeah. So, let's just dive into the Deadpool trailer. Initial thoughts?
Fun. I just think they I was a little annoyed. They kind of showed a lot of cool action scenes, which I are going to kind of feels like it spoils it a little bit because I kind of want to see all the cool shit in the film. But you got to get people interested early. So it's fine, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And it reveals a little bit more of the plot. Apparently how Cable is back in time to kill that other kid who we don't know.
With the glowy hands.
Yeah, we don't know his name yet. I kind of like that on IMDb they're not listing who's playing who.
Yeah.
You just get these little glimpses, and you're like, oh, wait, is that Terry Crews? And then you go, wait. Earlier, you're like, is that Shatterstar? Sure looks like Shatterstar on that plane with his dumb, boxing-looking helmet.
I would love
full
to
90s attire.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
With the sword with the two sword blades.
Oh.
The headpiece.
Fuck, please.
Oh, yeah.
I am so down for a Cable, Shatterstar, Domino movie.
It just looks so good. It looks super fun, and you can tell they have way more of a budget because the first one made fucking all the money.
Gangbusters.
They're getting the team together. That looks fun. Get some more mutants, and it I don't know, it just looks good.
Yeah.
I feel like the last X-Men movie, was it Apocalypse? Was that the last one?
Yep, Apocalypse and Meow.
That was the most vanilla ass movie. There's nothing special about it. And this trailer already looks so good.
Yeah.
Vanilla ass white bread, boring as fuck.
Exactly. It's the most basic ass X-Men movie.
I am concerned though
Pumpkin
because
spice ass movie.
I did hear a rumor though that Deadpool didn't test well with test audiences, so they're planning some reshoots. I don't know.
Then I heard rumors actually about that same thing where people were complaining they didn't see enough Domino and Cable because they liked them so much.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna hope that was the complaint. They're like, man, that shit was good, but it wasn't enough good.
Yeah, they pushed them so hard with the pre-stuff, the pre-marketing stuff. So
Yeah, that's true. They did, especially Domino. I mean, I wasn't her image the first official image from
yeah,
it was her doing the Burt Reynolds leaning thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love the designs for all these characters. Domino looks rad. Cable looks awesome.
Yeah, I know how they're going to do that, but they did it really well.
Cable seems like such a weird Rob Liefeld creation that shouldn't work, but he looks perfect. I couldn't imagine a better looking Cable in a movie.
Seriously. And and the best part is he looks like a badass.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that we're living in a time of metal arms.
It's a new trend. No more vampires, no more werewolves, metal arms.
We're living in a time where there's a movie coming out with Cable and then Thanos.
Right.
This isn't Magneto or the Green Goblin. It's fucking Thanos
and
Cable. Thanos is some deep like nobody knows who Thanos is unless you're a huge comic nerd. And then like Cable is so convoluted and confusing to explain. I'm just curious if they're going to be like, yeah, Cyclops is my dad. And the Goblin Queen, I think, is technically my mom.
Oh, right. The Madeline Pryor Sinister clone. Oh, God bless those comics. Fucking bananas in all the right ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it looks so good. And I'm so happy that the supporting cast is back. Like, you got Weasel, his girlfriend from the first movie, you know, and, like, I'm glad it wasn't like a... Because so many times in these types of movies, the love interest doesn't come back. They replace it with somebody else. Like, I was afraid that Domino was going to be the new, like, love interest, and they were going to write out What's-Her-Face. But they didn't, so I think that's really, really rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was, like, such a small superhero movie, if you think about it, like, cast-wise and
yeah, it was really tight.
Scale-wise. Yeah, and... like all the characters in it were perfect. Like TJ Miller was funny. His blind roommate is fucking hilarious. I'm glad she's back.
Yes. Yeah, if you think about it, I mean, even it definitely was a small action movie. And when I say small, I just mean like as far as like there's not too much special effects. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a superhero movie, so by its nature, the special effects, but it wasn't like I don't know. I mean, there's like highway chase fight scenes, but it didn't really feel overly CGI heavy. I mean, I know again,
because it's more of an action film. So, I mean, I think that's important to like be more practical and less CGI filled because it kind of like pulls you out of it if it's all it's like CG.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
I'm kind of curious though. So, like, Cable's coming back to kill the kid, apparently.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's they're kind of pulling a little bit from Civil War, and then kind of mixing
Civil War
it.
2?
No. So, you know, in Civil War, it was all kicked off by, what was the mutant that blew up?
Right, yeah. That guy.
Nitro.
Like, yeah, Nitro or something. So I'm thinking maybe this kid unknowingly does something terrible that kicks off, like, maybe not Cable's future, because Cable comes from an apocalypse-influenced future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then, like, Bishop comes from the shitty, like, Sentinel concentration camp future, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking maybe they're taking a little bit of all this. And then for a while I was thinking maybe they got confused and he doesn't want to kill the kid. It's kind of like a hope thing where he's coming back to like protect the kid.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's like some Terminator shit. Who knows?
I'm also happy that Colossus is in this. And also I love the clip of Deadpool in Xavier's wheelchair.
Mm-hmm. Even like the shot of the Blackbird taking off, I'm like, this all looks so much better than all the X-Men movies we've had in so long. I'm so excited.
The 2-second clip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is the X-Men I wish they built off of.
Who knows?
It just feels right. I'm excited.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Deadpool can lead the way to a new whatever they decide to do, yeah.
Right into the MCU.
Seriously. I would love it. But yeah, no, it looks fun. It looks great. I love how meta it is, especially when how like, oh, we need to get our own superhero team that's like powerful, like, you know, kind of like more, you know, morally questionable actions and, you know, young enough to be involved for the next 12 years. So yeah, no, it looks pretty good. That's really all I can say about it. I mean, it's like one of those movies where it's like, I don't really need a trailer because I'm going to go see it.
Exactly. I would have been fine with just like that, like the first movie when he's like checking his balls or something. I was like, that's all you need.
Yep. Pretty much says it all.
Or basically just the Ferris Bueller bit.
Oh my God.
That's really all you need.
With the action figures. That was like a really good one too.
That was good. Yeah, like yeah, they're like, oh, really? What are we trying to do? Like replicate, you know, take away somebody's mustache? Like, why does his arm look like shit?
Good stuff.
Yeah, I think it gives enough of the movie without spoiling like the action scenes. You know what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen it once though. I'm not somebody who's gonna go and rewatch the trailer over and over again. It takes a very special trailer for me to do that. So I'll probably forget most of that stuff by the time I go see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You're like Venom.
What about Venom? Oh yeah, there's a Venom movie
trailer.
coming out. Yeah, I watched that countless times.
Everybody's got problems. I'm never gonna let that go.
You got your thing, I got my thing. We all got our own things.
You think you get problems? My dog threw up a finger.
Yeah, man, I got problems. Goddamn slimy alien.
I
Fired from my job.
Yeah.
Found homeless people living behind a park. It's a fucking whole thing, man.
This whole thing is wacky zabacky, and it's all Obama's fault.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Eddie Brock just strikes me as like a Trump supporter.
Really?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I went there.
He seems kind of liberal.
Yeah. So, so you said that Deadpool, while you like the trailer, Rob, not something that you're gonna revisit constantly. What about that Infinity War trailer?
I have watched it several times. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, let's just dive into that because I think you all know that this is where we're gonna be like where all the fucking the meat and cookies are. Meat and cookies? What the fuck?
Meat and potatoes.
Nobody says that. Meat and cookies.
I'm on a meat and cookies diet.
I want a filet mignon and a chocolate chip cookie.
I mean, spaced out a little bit. That's probably not a bad combo, but on the same plate, that would look bizarre.
You just like crumple it and sprinkle it over your steak.
Cookie crusted
Yeah.
filet mignon.
It's a cookie crisp filet mignon.
Oh no.
Anyway.
Don't bring my childhood into this.
But yeah, that Infinity War trailer, I love kind of Gamora narrating the beginning.
Yeah.
And the reference to the...
I love how it's literally just like he wants to eliminate half of the universe, just like in Infinity Gauntlet.
Is there a reason why he wants to do that in story? Like, is it just for the hell of it?
So in Infinity Gauntlet, I believe at some point he made a deal with Death, who he's got a huge crush on.
Aww.
She's kind of a babe, but she's also kind of a skeleton, so it's kind of weird.
So she's a supermodel.
Oh, sick burn.
I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
But I believe he's promised her something that he would eliminate half the universe.
Oh, got it.
So I wonder if they're going to incorporate the whole death thing in this movie, which normally I would say is very far-fetched. But the fact that there's Thanos in this movie, the Black Order is in this movie, and there's like 98 Avengers in this movie. It's who knows what's happening.
That poster was so crowded.
And
Just
yet...
so many floating heads.
And yet no Hawkeye.
Yeah.
He's just on his farm trying to chill out, man. Him and Linda Cardellini are just raising kids.
But who knows?
Family
Maybe
man, it's not about that life.
he plays a bigger part in Avengers 4. Like
Yeah,
maybe everybody gets wiped out in the first Avengers, and they're like, "Oh shit, what do we have left? Ant-Man and Hawkeye."
They're like, did we ever open up that West Coast outlet, the West Coast Avengers?
That'd be so good
just-
post movie.
Well, you know what? I'm curious to see how this all plays out because, don't forget we do have Captain Marvel coming up, which is set in the 90s, and I'm wondering if like whatever happens to her, she goes off world and she's just sort of fighting off planet, and maybe they'll meet her. And Avengers
Captain
4.
Marvel is
Wasn't there stuff cut out of the Infinity War? Like there's like an article saying that she had like some footage that like got like cut out, so that she might not appear.
Oh.
Well, Captain Marvel is somewhat. Does she get her powers from the Kree?
Yeah.
And
She's
Jude,
like half
and,
Kree.
and Jude Law, who apparently is also in this movie. And I feel like Jude Law would play a good like male Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Did we have Kree in the first Guardians of the Galaxy?
We have Ronan.
Is
Yeah.
he's a Kree?
Yeah.
The weird galactic Marvel stuff is like you think you know Marvel, and then all of a sudden they're like galactic stuff. It's a whole new world.
It sounds like a 90s ad. You think you know Marvel?
Well, remember in like 2006-ish, I think, it was around like the Civil War Secret Invasion era, there was that Annihilation crossover.
Oh god, yeah. That was
And I just remember seeing like the covers and being like, man, that shit looks sick. And there's pictures like Nova and Silver Surfer and all this cool galactic stuff and like Black Bolt screaming. And I was like, man, I got to get this. So I read some of it. I was like, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I don't belong here.
I don't belong here. One thing, I've been reading some of the Silver Surfer Thanos stuff, and he kind of has a thing in there too where he's gonna destroy only half of everything, and his reasoning is that Death resurrects him like Death does. I didn't even know Death could do that, but so she resurrects Thanos, and she's like, hey, everyone's getting too good at like fucking medical shit, and people are living way too long and are sucking up all the resources like across like the universe.
Is this Silver Surfer
Give
arc
me a solid Thanos.
Is that pre-Infinity Gauntlet?
I believe that it is.
So maybe in Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos is still talking about that bargain for being brought back.
Could be.
It's come to collect.
Because and it's funny because, like, in a weird way, like, I kind of got what Thanos was trying to say, because it's just like, he's just saying, like, yeah, I mean, like, everyone just keeps going and going, and everyone, and these new generations keep coming, and everything's just gonna, just get all willy-nilly and hickledy-pickledy.
Mm-hmm. And in the trailer, again, you hear him talking about, he's like, half of you will still be standing here, like perfect balance and all this stuff. So
there's actually a great little panel I have here from the Thanos Silver Surfer comic. Like Thanos is taking Silver Surfer around, showing him, what's going on.
The whole new world.
Yeah. Don't you dare close your eyes. Instead of the magic carpet, it's the surfboard. Environmental concerns are a joke on this planet. The people of Earth now live with the vague notion that someone else will solve this problem for them. It never occurs to them that they themselves are that someone. And I was like, is it weird to kind of feel inspired by Thanos right now?
A little bit.
He shouldn't be making sense.
He's very like mustache twirly though in like Infinity Gauntlet and stuff, so I'm curious to see his like full portrayal in the Marvel movies. Like if he becomes one of those villains like Loki or the Vulture, or like one of the few that stand out.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's definitely the most like on the biggest scale. He's the biggest risk they've faced. So I'm curious, like, I feel like when scale, like even in comics, I feel like when the scale gets that big, like the stakes are that high, it's really hard to keep a good balance. Mm-hmm. But
I think it's just gonna.
The trailer looks so good.
It does look good. James Gunn has seen it and he says it's fantastic, but who knows? He might be paid to say that. But
yeah, it's typical shill.
Yeah,
shilling for the mouse.
For the mouse, yeah.
For the mouse.
Just imagine like that South Park episode.
Oh yeah! Oh boy!
We'll kick your ass. No, I what I'm kind of picking up on is that I'm still reminded, and I said this in the first trailer, and it's still true of the second one, a very Tolkien Lord of the Rings vibe, and I feel like it's gonna be a bunch of like side missions, like you're gonna have like Cap in Wakanda, and Tony and Spider-Man the Guardians on Mars, whatever planet they're on. Thor's on a side mission with Rocket Raccoon and Groot. So yeah,
I feel like it has to be like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious how much you're going to take from Infinity, because that's what they did in Infinity. They kind of split everyone up across like the country and universe, and
yeah. I just started rereading Infinity too, but in that it also mentions like it seems like cast wise much more similar to Infinity, just because like you have the Black Order, you have all his whatever it is, his like lackeys, all those little monster guys.
Well, it makes sense because I don't recall seeing Thanos having any posse prior to, like, and also
not really,
and because all the stuff I've read, like from like from the first appearance in Iron Man 55. Up until Hickman, he was always just sort of like, I don't fucking need anybody. I'm fucking Thanos. Like, what the fuck do I need friends for?
Mm-hmm. You can't do it alone. You discover the power of friendship.
But I think even in the first issue of Infinity, which is all I've read so far, it shows like when the Black Order gets to Earth, and at that point, I think most of them are in space dealing with like what are they called? Some kind of space war. I don't know. There's some space shit going on. So there's like very few Avengers left on Earth. And then it shows like kind of how they take over most of the planet. And then it shows like, except Wakanda, they were strong enough. And it showed like the Wakandan army with the Black Panther like fighting off the hordes, which is very similar to the trailer. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if like Wakanda is kind of like one of those last bastions of safety just because they'd be badass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do like how they're kind of borrowing from Infinity. Because I feel like of the Infinity titles, I feel like that's sort of the more easy to
cinematic
and easy to process. I feel like because Infinity Gauntlet gets trippy and bonkers, Rob, as you described it.
It's very bonkers. In Infinity, if you take out the tie-in to Hickman's pre-Secret Wars stuff, like the whole Illuminati. The convergence, the incursions, yeah. In the like weird, very, very dark nature of that story. But yeah, I don't know. I think Infinity would be the way to go. I gotta keep reading it.
Yeah. I dug out my copy of Infinity and I was looking at it and I almost got a little intimidated by it because I'm like, oh God, this is like, I want to take this on right now because I feel like
it's actually not that bad. It's pretty breezy.
Really,
my memory.
Well, because I remember reading it and liking it, but also I was reading it in line with everything else that Marvel was pumping out, so I kind of got where everything was going. And now I'm like, wait, is there like a, you know how Marvel does those trades like Road to whatever event there is? I'm like, is there a Road to Infinity I should be reading right now? Like,
not really. I mean, just like if you're reading the main Avengers title and New Avengers at the time, then that's kind of all you really needed.
Right. So, but my question now is like, am I going to have to go back and read all that?
No.
You'll read the first page and be like, oh yeah, that was happening. Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
It's happening during that time, but it's not so wrapped up in the storyline that you'll get confused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the art's awesome.
The art is awesome. I can't deny. But yeah, no, I think Hickman's work would translate well into a movie.
Agreed.
Hold on one second.
Paul, come back.
Paulie, come back.
One thing. So, the one thing in Infinity, it's the was it the creators?
The builders.
Or something? The builders, yeah. I don't think they'll be in this movie.
No, they were weird. Like I feel like there's like so many other species in the Marvel universe that are just like that. Like we're the precursors who built everything. It's like now there's like a third species. Like who came first, man?
I do like the design of I forget the like weird antlered.
Oh, Ex Nihilo.
Yeah.
Ex Nihilo,
it's
whatever.
Like cool designs and stuff, and
yeah.
That first arc was pretty cool, but
it was creepy. It was like all like bio horror and like
yeah,
it was like, what the fuck?
It was bizarre. I haven't read it since it came out, but yeah. See, Paul's got a toy for everything.
There you
go. But yeah, I'm looking right now at the cover of Prelude to Infinity. So there is a trade if you wanted to read it.
I'm sure it's all on Marvel Unlimited.
No, I think it's just the first arc where they introduced like Starbrand, Nightmask, and like Ex Nihilo, because that's the only thing that really ties into Infinity from the Avengers series.
Mm-hmm. You know what I will say? One thing I definitely want to get is the Marvel Omnibus Hickman run of Avengers.
Yeah. Good shit.
Yeah, as soon as I started rereading Infinity, I was like, oh man, I really liked Hickman's Avengers. Like it was dark and kind of...
It was like more sci-fi, which I liked.
It's very, very existential.
Mm-hmm.
My only problem with the Hickman run on Avengers was when they had Cap part of the Illuminati, and then they voted Cap off the island, and then Original Sin happened, and Cap remembered, and so it was almost like gearing up towards like another Civil War, like fucking Tony, I can't believe he's fucking pulling this shit, and it's gearing up towards this thing, and then it's like what 5 or 10 years in the future, and I'm like, wait a minute, there was no payoff.
Oh my god, that was like the coolest. That was a cool arc. The time travel one with the time gem.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Dope.
Yeah, it was great, but just wasn't cathartic. It was like, oh, it's in the future. Reed Richards is on the run. Like, remember, it was just like, what the fuck? Like, I hate when you jump forward. Like,
sorry, tell what time runs out. There's like another arc where they like go like through like different time periods, but then there's like the time runs out, which is like the time skip.
Yeah, I fucking hated that.
It just reminded me though of how like he was handling the idea of like superheroes doing terrible things, and like your opinion of them was like constantly being questioned. And then I think to fucking Secret Empire or whatever, where it's like good guys doing terrible things, but you just hate them the whole time because there's no subtlety and it's not good.
Right. Exactly. What I liked about his Avenger was that it was like an emotional horror movie.
Yeah, like those first few issues are super deep and heady, and you're like, and they're talking about, they're just like, well, do we literally have to destroy a planet, like a universe of beings,
right,
just like ours, every time in order to survive. And
I love that it was just coming to terms with like that they were losing, that no matter what they did in the end, this was coming to just destroy them.
That ship is sinking.
So yeah, I'm sure probably a lot of that won't be in the movie, but still, it's great to revisit and to check out and watch.
If the next movie is Secret Wars, and that's how we have like a 92 X-Men crossover in like,
oh my god,
1870s. What was it? 1872, the like Western one.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was some. And then 1602. If there was like a Secret Wars collection that's just called The Best of Secret Wars, where Marvel's like, we know the good ones. We'll put the good ones in here.
Sorry. Iron Man fell over on my keyboard.
What a drunk.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Did we learn nothing from Demon in a Bottle? Anyway.
I'm a demon in a bottle.
Got a drink made the right way. But yeah, no, and just kind of heading back over to the trailer. I just love like how dire everything is, you know, and I don't know. I just love seeing everybody in Wakanda. You know, like it hits me in the field when you see like Rhodey flying alongside Cap and Falcon, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got his groove back.
And just that moment when Cap catches the fist.
Oh my god!
I wonder how they're going to explain that.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just going to be followed instantly by Thanos bitch slapping Steve
with the other hand. Well, I love the slight, like, the fuck?
Yeah, he's, like, confused. He's like, what is this measly man doing catching my sweet glove?
Gem in the pocket.
I think it'll be definitely, like, a nice nod to that moment between Steve and Thanos and then the Infinity Gauntlet, you know, where they kind of had that standoff. You know, like, the whole foolish sentiments for someone about to die. But it does open the door to a bunch of fucking wacky-ass theories, because we still haven't seen where the Soul Stone is, and we were pretty convinced that it would be in Wakanda, because it would explain how, you know, the kings can talk to the dead previous kings, their ancestors, but now there's all these kind of wild rumors floating around about what or who the Soul Gem could be, and well, actually, I think almost all of them are pretty fucking wacky. One of them, there's one theory out there that it's Agent Coulson is the stone.
No.
Yeah, according to this one website, the idea is more of a thematic one than one based on hard evidence. Throughout Marvel's first phase and into Marvel's The Avengers, where Coulson nobly sacrificed himself to galvanize the Avengers, Coulson was the heart and, wait for it, the soul of the Avengers. Perhaps that role was a literal one as well.
If that happened, I would literally in the theater just be like,
yeah. And of course, there's also the theory about Adam Warlock being because he had the connection to the Infinity Gauntlet and the Soul Stone, and he doesn't he ultimately use the Soul Stone to defeat Thanos at the end of Infinity Gauntlet.
He goes into the Soul universe, the world within the Soul Stone, and that's like his domain. And basically, and Infinity Gauntlet, Adam Warlock is just like, trust me, guys, I know all this shit. They never explain how he knows all this stuff. He's just like, I know it all. I'm like real tight with the Infinity Gems. And everybody's like, all right, we have to believe him. And I think at some point he like shakes hands with Doctor Strange and shows him all that he knows. And Doctor Strange is like, yeah, we got to believe this guy. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I guess we just got to believe him.
There's also another theory that the theory of where the Soul Stone could be is in, it's all in the name, and the name is Thanos, because you had the Tesseract, which is T, and then maybe that's it. Well, you had the hold on. There is the H equals
the Soul Gem is the only one, right?
Yeah, because
that has been revealed,
right? Because you had
there's still a chance it's included in Wakanda somewhere.
Yeah,
well, I think it's still too early for the Warlock thing because like he's still being born at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, so it's like unless you're doing a Vision thing.
You know, it'd be kind of cool. There's another theory about there's a theory that the Skrulls have the Soul Stone, and that's how they're going to factor in, because the Skrulls are confirmed for Captain Marvel, aren't they? So wouldn't that be like I guess that's one theory that could be their entryway into.
That'd be cool.
It's also it's just very possible that he doesn't even fully assemble the gauntlet by the end of this movie.
Yeah. There's also another theory.
You just basically get an introduction or something, because I feel like they can't kill Thanos and pull a Marvel in this movie. Like we need more time with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's also a theory about we were joking about why we don't see Hawkeye. That Hawkeye is on a separate mission to get to the Soul Stone. And that the idea is that it's him with Nick Fury, Maria Hill, that they're sort of on a journey or a search for Captain Marvel. And again, we were saying Captain Marvel is set in the past, and Nick Fury is in it. It's also going to explain how Fury lost his eye. So Fury is known.
It's the Soul Stone.
Yeah. So
yeah, Fury goes. It's just glowing.
Yes. That'd be amazing.
Oh my god, that would be Yeah, there's also a theory about the Hulk finding it and weaponizing it, because based on some of the toys that have been released, there's like there's a picture of a Hulk figure where he's holding like some sort of like a beam with a chunk of concrete at the end, like a hammer, and there's like the Soul Gem just fucking crammed into the center. So everyone's like, oh, he finds it and weaponizes it. And I'm like,
interesting. Just
because it's part of the toy, it's not, wouldn't say it's necessarily confirmed.
It's not canon.
Yeah. So another one, Silver Surfer is trapped within the Soul Stone. I don't know what the logic is behind that. Let's see what else.
I bet it's just a rock somewhere. Maybe Thanos just already had it. He's like, oh, I already had this one.
Yeah.
Looking for this.
He's like, that's why I made the glove, because it fit. So I was like, let's go.
There's also another theory about Hamdel having the Soul Stone, and that
he's pretty orange. It makes sense.
Yeah, his eyes are orange, and how he can see every soul. I don't know.
Boo! I don't want it to be a person.
Yeah, it's too convenient. I don't like yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the whole theory about it being linked to Tony Stark. So I don't know. I think because there's also this. Hey. Son of a bitch. There's also
sassy.
Yeah. Domino. Hey. He's just being a brat. Hey. Sorry, guys. We can cut this part out. Domino. There's all this promotional art with the Infinity Stones, and so you have like the Space Stone, and you have Cap in it because his movie. There's the Power Stone. You see Star-Lord in it. Time with his Doctor Strange. Domino. So, but in this this promotional art, you have Tony inside the Soul Stone, so that's why everyone's freaking out. And there's the whole bit where in Iron Man 2, Howard Stark says, "Oh, you were my greatest creation." I don't know.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I don't want to believe.
Yeah, they're like, Tony's actually a rock.
Yeah.
At the end, he just floats away. He pulls a straight up Jesus, just floats into the sky, and you're like, oh,
alcoholic
God damn it.
rock.
Yeah. There's also a theory that it's the quantum realm from Ant-Man. There's another great theory. It's just not going to appear at all.
These are all bad ideas.
Yeah. Throw him against the wall, see what sticks.
But you know the Soul Stone and where it is and its reveal is going to be huge. And we know this because, well, one, he's got to have all of them, got to catch them all. And the Russo brothers tweeted out a picture, hashtag where is the Soul Gem or the Soul Stone. So even the Russo brothers are kind of hyping up the where could it be. So I'm sure it'll play a big role in where it is and who has it. There's also another theory about this going to require some type of time travel to get to the Soul Stone, maybe because there has been photos of Nick Fury and Ant-Man in a set that replicates the Battle of New York. And Chris Evans is seen rocking his Avengers suit from that first movie. So, there's that. It could be with Captain Marvel, which might tie back into Hawkeye, trying to find her and it.
That's why she's out there in the first place.
I still think it should be in Wakanda. It's at the center of their vibranium mine or something like that. Yeah.
And it adds to the Last Stand kind of feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, the worst one, I think, is Titan himself. The planet that Thanos hails from.
It was inside Thanos all along.
Whoever writes that, they gotta get better at thinking of theories.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd also heard another theory of Cap being a Soul Stone, which is why he was able to push back Thanos. And I don't like that because I feel like that takes away from who Captain America is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. None of the Avengers. Let's just if that happens, I'll be so disappointed. It's a rock somewhere. That's what's got to happen.
Yeah. No, you got to put it in the glove.
I'm very excited to see the Black Order because those characters, they're all such cool looking designs. They're also creepy looking and evil looking.
Mm-hmm.
Like Corvus Glaive and whatever,
Proxima Midnight.
Yeah. You see that one part where he's what is it, Ebony Maw, the guy who's no flat face, and he's putting all those.
That's racist.
Glass. He's putting all that glass shit into Doctor Strange or whatever.
Yeah, just like in the comic, he was molesting him and trying to it was weird.
Right. Scene. Yeah. There's also what I love too is seeing Star-Lord and Tony Stark having banter, be like, oh, what if we did what's your plan, which sucks? What if I did it and it's awesome?
Oh,
it's going to be so weird seeing all these characters together, which is exactly how I felt when I saw the first Avengers movie. So
yeah, no, I think it's, I think it could be
too many hams.
Yeah, well, you know what, and I'm curious about, just sort of who buys the farm. I keep thinking that Loki is going to die pretty early in the movie.
Yeah, because
he died twice, didn't he?
He's shown standing with the Black Order, isn't he?
He died twice.
I mean, because I'm pretty
Not
sure...
Not really, but
I'm pretty sure it's going to pick up where Ragnarok left off, where they're in the ship, Thanos comes, and Loki has the cube, because, he took it at the end of Ragnarok. He's about to crush Thor's skull in, and Loki's fine, I have it. And the Black Order just kills him. That Loki goes out with some redemption. And because we don't really see him anywhere else in the trailer other than that one scene.
Well, he was in that scene with the...
He's with them, but if I'm looking at a thumbnail now, and Proxima Midnight is holding a staff with pointy shit to his head, basically.
Right.
Okay.
And that's why I'm thinking... he dies sacrificing himself for Thor.
I thought it was double crossed during the Black Order.
I don't think so.
Died double crossing.
Yeah.
He's very sneaky. He is known to double cross the double crossers, so maybe he's trying to triple cross the triple cross.
Yeah. It could be. He can manipulate or multiply himself. That would be the twist. Loki is multiple man.
Ooh.
Yeah. I also
It was all a dream.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I did enjoy I should introduce myself. I'm Peter, Doctor Strange. Oh, so we're using our pretend
made-up
names. Yeah. I'm Spider-Man.
So good.
Yeah. No, that's ultimately just what I'm just like looking forward to the most. Yeah, like seeing these characters interact, especially like having Tony and Doctor Strange be together. Like, I hope there's a joke from the Bendis comics about being like goatee bros.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll happen.
Yeah. I think it,
Why not?
I think it absolutely could. I feel like I'm trying to think back to like the trailer, and like I'm having a hard time because I think I was just so like overwhelmed with whoa.
There's so much going on. People were posting like GIFs of something I watched 2 seconds before. I'm like, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
So much stuff.
I just literally rolled out of bread. Jesus, I rolled out of bed. Looked at my phone.
I rolled out of bread.
Yeah, like like you do, and yeah, it's I couldn't believe it was released so early in the morning. But then again, it was like 7 my time, so 9 o'clock Eastern. But still, I think it was still kind of early. But I love seeing like War Machine rocking his suit again, and he's got the apparatus to make his legs move or help him walk. I'm excited seeing Scarlet Witch and Mark Ruffalo hanging out together. I mean, I know I hated the whole romance bit, but I kind of hated how, he just kind of like took off on her. I'm curious to see how they're going to resolve that. So, yeah. And the thing I love too is I love the flashback of when Thanos adopts. I don't know if you can say adopt, but when he takes Gamora, she's this little girl. He's got that little green hand and his giant fucking purple one. And I love seeing Thanos rocking his like war gear. There's even a bit there when he's taking off his helmet. He's wearing the gauntlet, but he only has one stone in it, and that's like the Power Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Purple, like him.
I've needed a haircut for so long. I feel like I should just grow it out and just try to look like Captain America in this movie.
Ooh, grow out your beard again.
Yeah.
Just become Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I ever really wanted to be anyway.
Right. There's also like a really cool bit too when they arrive in Wakanda and you see like, Bruce Banner and Rhodey and Falcon and Vision and Scarlet Witch. Like I'm just excited for all like just everything, like all of these interactions.
I know. The band's getting back together.
Yep. And well, what I think too is that I think, a part of me was thinking that they're in Wakanda to defend themselves because Thanos is after the Soul Gem, but also you have Vision with them. And, I'm sure part of it has to be them protecting Vision. And there's a really cool shot of Shuri, that one of the highlights of the Black Panther film, holding up a hologram of Vision's head with the Soul Stone in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
So many characters, so much room for activity.
And no Hawkeye.
He'll be the Deus Ex Machina at the very end. You hear boom, and it turns around, and you just hear,
Oh my god.
And then he gets slapped into oblivion.
Can we also talk about how great Peter's hair is? It's like right out of the comic book. That like close up of him while he's listening to Peter Quill and Tony Stark talking. It's like the perfect 90s
so
quaff.
flowy. Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for more Spider-Man 2.
It's very lax bro hair.
Yeah,
I need to rewatch Homecoming. It's been a while. It's been too long.
Gotta do it.
There's so many of those. Every once in a while, I'm like, I need to get all the Marvel movies because I only have like half of them. And then when I realize half means I still need like 14 more movies, I'm like, oh god.
It was a cool bit in the trailer too. Is whatever planet they're on, when Thanos' fucking Cheerio ship, gets destroyed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange is using his fucking orange magic discs, and Star-Lord is like kind of jumping on them like
Combo.
like a video game.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
I love when they do shit like that in those superhero movies. Like my favorite like superheroes working together shots in all movies is in Avengers 1, the whole bouncing your rays off a Cap shield like with Iron Man. And then basically Avengers 1, the final fight scene did a lot of good stuff, a lot of good superhero synergy. But I feel like the opening to Days of Future and Past or whatever, when the X-Men are in the future in that like bunker and they're fighting all the souped up Sentinels. There's some sweet shit going on in there. Like when Blink's throwing the portals and they're jumping through them and sliding on the ice and lighting shit on fire. I'm like, hell yeah.
They all get horribly named.
I think that's probably one of my favorite recent X-Men movies.
It's so good. I don't get how that and Apocalypse were made by the same guy. Blows my mind. Like that movie is so competently directed. The action's awesome. The acting is like Apocalypse is just so bleh. There's nothing about it. It's just the end is just two dudes floating going.
It's always a Dragon Ball Z fight, always.
But not even like as good as a DBZ fight.
Well, you know what's
just charging up spear bombs the whole time.
Well, you know what's sad too is that you have Oscar Isaac playing Apocalypse, and he's a great actor.
Yeah, he can do it all.
So I don't know. I don't know what happened. They can't all be Poe Dameron.
Nope.
But yeah, I don't know. Just so damn excited for that trailer, and we're definitely going to be doing a book review. We just got to figure out which. I think probably doing Infinity Gauntlet would make the most sense, right? Or should we do Infinity as well?
I think we should do Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity. Infinity Gauntlet being like the first big hurrah, and Infinity being like the new modern take on Thanos. So you get a little bit of the best of both worlds.
Clearly, Domino agrees.
Domino agrees.
Yep.
But we should also talk about the news that Chris Evans said he won't be in Marvel after Avengers 4.
No.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, like it's like that he couldn't do it forever. So I wonder then what are the circumstances of his leaving? And when I say circumstances of him leaving, I mean how the character exits the franchise. I mean, I really hope that this leaves room for a Bucky Cap.
I feel like if the MCU continues as one cohesive thing,
which it will,
one storyline,
it will, because they've already said how Spider-Man 3 is going to be the first film post Infinity War. That sort of kind of sets this,
Yeah, so I feel like they need a Cap. Like you can't have a Marvel universe without a Captain America. It's like trying to make a DC universe without Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman. Like there's certain characters that just need to be there in some shape or form. And the comic books managed to make Bucky like a believable and engaging Captain America. So, I mean, I have faith they could do it again.
Yeah. I think so too. I mean, not that I didn't like Sam as Cap, but I just think, I don't know, Bucky just always felt more appropriate.
It's because Sam didn't feel like Cap. He felt like Sam Wilson. Yeah. Which is cool. Like, Falcon's cool. If they were on to make a Falcon movie, I would not be opposed.
Right, but it would have to be a Falcon movie, not Falcon as Cap.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I think I just think it makes sense, because Tony is in possession of Cap's shield. And I think Tony giving Bucky the shield is like a really nice visual, symbolic gesture of him sort of like forgiving him for murdering his parents while under the Hydra brainwashing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I think that would, at least if I were writing these movies, that's how I would do it.
I just hope they don't kill, Chris Evans off. I hope they do like kind of like I just want to have a normal life, get back to like my roots, that kind of thing, and just kind of pass on the torch.
Yeah, and maybe he finally settles down with Agent Carter.
Yeah, he's been hearing so much about this sexual intercourse for his whole life. He really wants to try it out.
It's on his list.
Oh, God. If Cap dies a virgin, I'm going to be really sad. I'm like, well, at least, will someone at least buy him a lap dance for Christ's sake?
He's so pure, too pure for this world.
Cap would never go for a lap dance, I don't think. He'd be like, young lady.
No, it's indecent.
Let me take you out to eat first, please.
Yes, and buy you a meal, and this
look famished.
And this money is going towards your computer classes.
He's like, I'm 34. I graduated from college. I
make
a fuck ton of money doing this. He's like, man, times sure have changed.
Yeah, I actually know some people who are strippers now, and they're very happy with it, and they hate the stigma of like, oh, I'm this fucking strung out girl on her, hanging by a thread, at the end of her rope, and it's like, no, I just like what I do, and I make. I went to high school
with a girl who, no exaggeration, her dream was to always be a stripper, and you know what? She succeeded at that dream. You do you, man. Seem good times.
Yeah, there's no judgment here. You do you.
Do you think if I was built like a Chippendales dancer, I wouldn't at least consider it when I'm hurting money?
Oh, I would fucking do it.
I ain't too proud. What's that? The Australian thing, Thunder from Down Under?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just go on stage, oil yourself up, and just fucking dance. Sounds like a good time.
Dance the night away.
I would totally do it.
Bunch of middle-aged women screaming, throwing stuff at you.
Don't forget the gays.
Mm-hmm. That too. Whatever.
Yep.
Just as long as everybody's having a good time, that's all you need.
Right.
As long as everybody's smiling, laughing.
Yep. I know for a fact that if somebody wanted to hire me as a stripper, not that anybody ever would, but if they did, Angela would be like, "You're doing it."
I bet if you went on Craigslist, made a post, you could get hired within a day.
Yeah.
There's someone out there. There's someone out there that wants to watch everyone strip.
I believe in you too, Paul. We're all supporting you.
Yeah, I mean, you go get them. You go live that dream.
Boy, that'll be a fun episode. Yeah, so Paul's going to strip tonight, and on the next episode, he's going to report back, tell us how it went.
He's like, it was great. It was very
live
great.
podcast from the strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, I'm grinding right now. It's what the kids are doing.
Enjoy your issues.
Oh God! Well, I think that leaves or presents an opportunity, a great segue for what we've been doing this week. Not taking pole dancing classes.
Pole dancing seems fucking hard.
It's a good workout, apparently.
You need really good core strength.
Body strength.
Yeah. And there is totally an art to it. I mean, some of the performances are just amazing. If someone did some Cirque du Soleil level shit on a pole, I'd be like, wow, that was incredible.
I couldn't do that.
Fully clothed or naked, I would be like, holy shit. So yeah, I recently decided to reread Origin, which was the Wolverine origin story. I don't know why I felt compelled to read it, because I've been reading so much X-Men that I sort of needed a break, but I still wanted to read about mutants. And I hadn't read Origins since when it came out in 2001.
Is this the thing with all the Joe Quesada covers?
Yeah.
I haven't read that in a long time either.
Yeah, and I think for the most part it holds up pretty well. It's funny because I hadn't read it in so long that I forgot about it. I knew, there's this groundskeeper who looks like Wolverine and his son who, you think is Wolverine, but it's not. But there's definitely some more things that I caught about how that, the bigger implications about Sabretooth and Wolverine being brothers, and how the mom was having an affair with the fucking drunk hobo. So yeah, and that there was this death of another brother, and the mom's got the claw marks and all that. And I sort of loved how Wolverine is just always just too busy being cool. I just love how kind of annoying he is, because he's just so... He's the only rich child, and he's just so moody all the goddamn time. I mean, you totally get why, but it's not cool. He hadn't worked out his brooding yet. He was like, no, thinking of nobody. It's just, But I mean, I would love to see a Wolverine movie like that, where it's a total period piece. And, because of Wolverine Origins, I sort of brushed past it. I would love to see, a young,
The only good part of X-Men Origins Wolverine is that very opening title sequence where it shows him and Sabretooth kind of running through time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that part was awesome. And then just, it went to a bad place.
It took a hard right.
It took a hard turn.
Like off the bridge and just into the fucking ocean. And they kept going.
Explodes underwater.
Yeah. But that was really fun to read. So yeah, it was fun revisiting. I never read the sequel, so I started reading that, and it's the first issue is just Wolverine running with wolves.
Dakin comes from.
I don't know. I haven't gotten.
No, this is just before that. This was like a 2012, 13 miniseries.
Yeah. So I don't know. Wolverine just got such a trippy past. I mean, even he doesn't know what's going on.
That's why it's so easy to write his past, because whatever he don't remember.
Yeah, and it's so true. And actually, I did like some of the little nods about how he kind of got into feudal Japan because he was working for this guy who was a sailor. He's like, oh, I was in Japan and I hear these books about the way of the samurai. I think you might like it. So I did like those little nods, and that guy also said bub a lot. So it's like, oh, that's where he picked that up from. But yeah, the only thing is that, and I totally I get why it ended this way. It's so open-ended. Which that's comic books, especially when you're doing an origin like Wolverine's. It just felt open-ended in not all the right ways. Like, it didn't check all of the boxes I needed to check. Like, they build up this whole showdown with Wolverine and Sabretooth, and it's like, it seems really forced because you just forget about Dog, which is Sabretooth's name, like you forget about him for issues, and then he's back and he's a fucking monster, and it's like, I would like to, I don't know. This wasn't a good climax for me, but otherwise, it was good. The end. How about you guys?
I haven't read much new stuff. I read Infinity Gauntlet, but I'll save most of my discussion on that if we're going to do an episode on it. And I'm going to riff through Infinity this week as well. I've been continuing my journey through Dragon Ball Z Kai. They're just about to start fighting Frieza, which, if you remember from the original DBZ, this is my prime nostalgia area. This is me in 4th or 5th grade coming home from school, watching one episode of Dragon Ball Z every week, being super impatient because the original had way too much filler. But Kai is a great way to just keep ripping through it. It's awesome. Goku is the dumbest character ever, but he's awesome. He's so dumb. Everything he does is so dumb. Everything he says is so dumb, but I love him.
It's endearing.
Yeah.
Is his heart in the right place, though?
He just likes fighting. Like, there's tons of times where, like, the universe would be way safer if Goku just didn't like fighting. He's like, don't kill him. I want to fight him later. So let him go so I can fight him again. And you're like, oh, God.
Like, stop. Stop it.
But yeah, that's about it.
Cool.
I've been busy at work.
Always fun.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Chen Lie?
In terms of reading, I've been still working through Jessica Jones' Alias. Still fun. Still like this really good noir. Bendis is good at that. That's like his realm. Also reading, continuing Hickman's Hickman's Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I should read that too.
It's very kind of like episodic and like not all the issues like really like, it's not like overarching. It's an overarching narrative, but like each issue is kind of like its own kind of thing that like ties in later. And I kind of like I said, I think before in a previous episode, I like the way that it like kind of plants the seeds for his Avengers run and like Secret Wars. Yeah, it's just cool. I never really read the Fantastic Four before, so I think it's like a really good like entry point.
That's probably one of the best Fantastic Four,
Okay.
Thanks.
I'm also reading the current volume of Guardians of the Galaxy by Jerry Dugan. It's all right. I like it. It's just my only gripe is that it's too much like the films, which I guess is intentional.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't want to like watch the films like in my comics. I kind of like more original stories and like
right.
Yeah. Other than that, I am still watching Jessica Jones season 2. It's still pretty good. Same issue with last season. It's a little too long. If they kind of like shaved off like 1 or 2 episodes, it would have been a lot more tight and cohesive. I actually kind of like the season a little bit more just because she's actually doing private investigation in a lot of the episodes. The first season was just more like, find Kilgrave. This one's more like I'm doing my job and, showing my work. And it's cool. Yeah.
I'm definitely excited to do an episode where we talk about the conclusion of Jessica Jones. I'm definitely dying to talk to you guys about it.
Yeah.
All good things. Well, thanks, guys, sharing what you've been reading. We'll definitely be doing a book review soon, and then afterwards, we gotta read Angela's book, or someone's gonna fucking die.
I still have it, yeah.
And it might be me. Yeah. I might just find a way to just take stills of it and send it to people. That's the way we're gonna get people to read it. Whatever it takes, because my life is on the line.
No, save Paul hashtag.
Yeah, hashtag save Paul. Yeah. So we'll definitely have to figure out a schedule because the movie comes out April 27th, and I'm thinking we want to maybe do these reviews before.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe assumption.
Yeah.
So we got. Let's see.
We got a whole month.
Yeah, we got about 4 weeks till it comes out, so we could probably, I don't know, maybe in 2 weeks do an Infinity Gauntlet review. They'll give plenty of time for everyone to read it.
Sure.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool beans, y'all. Well, in the meantime, y'all know the drill. Drop us some love on iTunes, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you can find anything. We're most likely there. And hopefully things go well. You'll also be seeing some more video content from Rob and I.
Woo!
Yeah, because I got some things to talk about. Man, a camera and a microphone to do it. Yeah. I was gonna quote Beck, but all I know is a microphone.
That's all you need to say.
Yeah. That being said, enjoy your issues.